I'll say some things and I'll try to say it as slow as I can, and people will kind of be like, what? Because whenever you say to somebody, justification isn't about being guilty and then being not guilty anymore, you know what they're going to hear? You're saying that we never sinned.
Right.
Mm. That's what they'll hear, right? But that's not what I said, is it? No, but that's what will be heard, because for so long we thought justification from sin has been we're guilty of wrongdoing, right, and God had to come and do something so he could see us as if we'd never done wrong. Right? Yes. We thought we had to be justified to God instead of by God. It's like that Dennis Green, when that I love that football coach. They were playing the Patriots, and they're just whipping the Patriots at halftime. They got like a 30-something point lead, and then the Patriots come back and win the game. And in the press conference, I think they asked, I don't know exactly how they said it to him, but they said something stupid. I mean, reporters sometimes say stuff just to try to get the coaches, when they're fired up at the end, to just unleash because they want a good story. So they said something like, well, did you underestimate the opponent, or something like that? And I mean, this guy just lost the 31-point lead at home. And so the guy's fuming already. Yeah. And so to try to suggest that as if we haven't prepared, as if we're not professionals, as if we don't know the opponent. And so he kind of just freaks out and loses his mind and says, they are who we thought they were.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's like Satan come to God. God never said that man was in his image and likeness. God never said that. God never said we weren't his. He never said we weren't his offspring. He never said he wasn't our father. God never said he wasn't our father. And so with the serpents coming done to Jesus, kind of like the reporter did to Denny Green. Well, God, have you kind of overestimated man? Do you think you come out with the wrong opinion about who they are and whether or not you want to be with them and whether or not you can enjoy life with them? I mean, look at them. Yeah. And so you can just see God. They are who we thought they were. Bam! In the resurrection. Boom!
That's so good. That's so good.
You see? You see, and that's the crux of the matter.
Yeah,
but
happy.
Our conscience has been so stained by sin that we judge everything by our works. Everything is about our works. Everything about our works. We see everything through our works. Everything. God, what God thought, what God did. Everything through our works. It's like you can't even be. How can you have an inheritance in God unless you're his child?
Yeah, no.
How can there be an inheritance stored up for you in God unless you're his offspring?
That's right.
Listen, man, I have an inheritance in my father. And so do all my siblings. Stored up for us in him.
Yeah.
Listen, it doesn't matter how much he loves my friends. They don't have an inheritance in him. Why not? Because they're not his kids.
Right. Yeah.
So the only way you can even have an inheritance stored up in God is if you're first his kids. Is if you're first his offspring. The only way you can have access into his house, into the throne room, is if you're first his children. The only way you can have access to his life is if you first come forth from his loins. Jesus come to declare to man that you are the offspring of God. God is your father. You've forgotten the rock from which you've been hewn.
Yes.
And so, how you come home to inheritance unless you can first hear you have an inheritance? Listen, ain't none of my friends showing up in the meeting when my dad's will is read and his inheritance is being run out. Do you know why none of them are showing up? Because they know they're not his kids. So how are people going to show up to claim their inheritance in God if they don't hear that they're his kids?